what's up, my name is Daniela and today I'm here with another Unhaul. So I thought that I was done with unhauling books for some time because I did several unhauls in 2018 and I thought that the books left are my favorites, but turns out they aren't and there were still things to get rid of. The first thing that is going to go is a series and it's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I read the first book twice and I think I read the second book in high school and I quite like it, but I have owned this series for a decade and I wasn't invested enough to complete it, so that's telling me something, and that is probably that I should let it go. Next I have some absurd drama here, and this is The Bold Soprano, I think it's called, and The Chairs by Eugene Ionescu. At least the first one is a really good play. I have read it several times I think, and I've seen it live and I don't have to own it. Next I have From Fulgium 1, which is a collection of essays by Robert Fulgium, who is like super popular in the Czech Republic, and I quite liked his books, but yeah, this is the last one I own and I don't need to own it anymore. Next I have a great book that I just reread in December, and that's Animal Farm by George Orwell. I think that this book is brilliant. I gave it 5 stars, but I don't see myself rereading it anytime soon, so I'm going to get rid of it for now. The next one is a similar story and it's The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I read in December. I'm really glad I finally read it and I gave it 4 stars, but I don't think I will be rereading it anytime soon or ever, so I don't need to own it right now. Next I have a non-fiction book and it's Zen in the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury. I really like some Bradbury's short stories, but I'm not interested in reading this book. And then I decided to do kind of a drastic step because I have been building a collection for quite a few years, but I decided that I want to get rid of the majority of it. And I'm talking about my Haruki Murakami collection. I own some of his books in Czech and some in English, and although I have no way of telling which translation is better because I don't speak Japanese, I prefer the English translation. But even with the books I own in English, I don't think I will be rereading them anytime soon or ever. There are some of his other books that I don't own that I might reread, or some books that I haven't read yet and I don't own them. So I'm getting rid of After Dark. I really love these Czech covers, especially this one is stunning, but a pretty cover isn't everything, so it's going to go. Then I have his collection of essays about being a writer, Colorless Tsukuru Tazake and his Years of Pilgrimage, South of the Border, West of the Sun, Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman, The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, After the Quake, Haruki Murakami and the Music of Words, which is a non-fiction book about Murakami's books by his English translator J. Rubin, The Elephant Vanishes, and finally the box set with 1Q84. I'm not 100% decided about this one, but I also might be getting rid of Tracy's Tiger by William Sarian. I just reread this in December. It used to be one of my favorite books, but in December I lowered the rating from 5 to 4, and I'm not the biggest fan of this edition. I can always get it from the library if I want to, so I think that I can get rid of this copy. And the last pile I have here are some Harry Potter books. And before you click on dislike or unsubscribe, it's not what it looks like. So right now I own all the books in Czech, but I don't own the whole series in English. I own only 2 books in English. And I'm going to buy the English editions very soon. I'm very much looking forward to that, but I haven't decided which set I want to get. So first I have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in this edition. This was actually a gift from my ex-boyfriend and he even wrote a dedication in it, and you know, it's time to say thank you next. Next I have book 3 in German, which I bought in German, but there's not much nostalgia about it. I have owned this copy since high school and I was keeping it all these years, and I was telling myself that I'm going to improve my German, because German was actually the first language I learned in school, but it's much worse than my English. And I just finally admitted to myself that improving my German isn't my priority right now, and I wouldn't be able to read this book without consulting the dictionary all the time, and yeah, I'm just not interested. Next I have Harry Potter Lexicon by Steve van der Ark. This is in Czech and there is always the English name, so that was probably the main reason I was keeping it, but if I'm not sure about some term, I can always Google it. And lastly, it is finally time to get rid of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by, who wrote it? Jack Thorne. I love Harry Potter, but is there a reason to keep bad fanfiction? I don't think there is, although I really love the cover. And that is all for this unhaul. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike if you disliked it, and you can also subscribe. Yeah, that is a lot of things to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!